to tell you, man. I can take a look at it later. Just give me a.
I turn off my Japanese mode, but
Uh huh. But you don't know what's going on, why it's doing that. All right. Let me get this ready. Pop it out. Pop and lock.
the wall can't move, bruh.
Is your ping really low?
No, it's like I can't move for a second.
My ping's okay, so your ping must be good too.
Yo,
All
this
right.
game's actually bad, bruh.
What's up, Grumpy? What's up, Jonah?
They need to fix their game.
Yeah, it sounds like they didn't optimize, man. Sorry, my son's complaining about the bad optimization
Whoa!
on Fish, the game Fish on Roblox. Okay. Let me bring up chat real quick. Give me just a second here, guys. Blah 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 blah
But
blah.
like the oceans look good as like CFE.
Oh, really? That's why it's going slow.
And they even got ocean waves too.
Yeah, so that's why it's going super 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 slow, dude. That's what it is. Wait, why? Why isn't it showing up? Hold on just a second, guys.
My boat's moving crazy fast.
What? Where's? Oh, there it is. What? I don't know why it called. The window was just said YouTube. That was it. Like it didn't say chat like it normally does. That's weird. Okay. Oh, actually, sorry. You know what I need to do? I need to move chat to my other monitor because for some reason, when I do that, it becomes more manageable. I don't understand how that works. Pyramid Head, smash your pet. I would say I'd still buy Silent Hill F again. I will say, and maybe some people are gonna be mad that I say this. I don't feel like it's a Silent Hill game. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it's a good game. It's a good story. The combat is kind of whack the way Silent Hill combat always is. Yeah, their lock on ability is just garbage. I don't know who programmed it, but it's pretty inaccurate. You know, very interesting characters. Hinako, the main character's story, very engaging, very interesting. It's not really a Silent Hill game though. It might as well be called Higurashi no Naka Silent Hill. Like it's like I mean, I love it because I love Higurashi no Nakakoro ni, you know, when the cicadas cry. I love it, but like this is, you know, it's definitely not like a. Yeah, I beat it. It's a pretty short game, honestly. I think it took me only 13 hours, and dude, I searched for everything. Like, I got everything in the game, dude. I missed some of these like notes, like the doctor's notes or whatever. I will ask first before though I start talking about it. Okay, good. Just checking if my little sliders here. I made myself some sliders tonight. My son and I sliders. Before I start to talk about it, if you don't want it spoiled, I just want to check that everybody's okay that I kind of spoil some stuff. I mean, honestly, there's like a bunch of different endings, so and even as you play through it again, like NG Plus, gives you even newer stuff, new scenes and everything. What's up? Ann? What's up? Oh no, I just answered it. What's up, Ann? Again? Okay. Um. And if Pyramid Head showed up in Silent Hill F, that would be so lame. Like, right now, and man, this is sad, guys. Okay, I'm playing Silent Hill Homecoming because that's the only game I have. Um, I never went all the way to the end of Homecoming because it was just so bad. Man, was that game poorly made. My God. It's kind of like you can really tell. Like I heard they were like on a tight crunch and like money was running out, but it's kind of like the situation where like you realize you forgot to do last night's homework and so you're just like rushing through it to try and look like it's done, but it's really just a bunch of BS. You're scribbling really fast. That's what Silent Hill Homecoming is, man. It's damn, dude. Like man, it's bad, dude. It's so bad. Yeah, it's bad. Pila with me, hey. Felt like any country's folklore. What for what? For what, Dark Soul? What do you mean? Oh, shit compared to. Oh, yeah. Okay. 100% with you on that, Dark Soul. Um, Actually, I have Dark Soul. I have Dark Soul. Oh boy. I have The Room downloaded on my ROG Ally X. I need to get into playing that. I never got to beat that one all the way either. So it's four Silent Hill 4, The Room, and Homecoming. Homecoming, I was like near the end, and I was just so, I don't know, like when it came out for PlayStation 3, it had so many problems that they even had like the buttons mapped incorrectly. So like I had to wait for a patch, and then it was just garbage. The same problem is on the PC. The PC port is so trash, dude. It's insane trash. But I wish I could get Downpour. Like, where can I buy Downpour? Is it only on Sony PlayStation still? Is it like Bloodborne, where the only way I can get it is if I buy it for a PlayStation 4 to play it on my PlayStation 5? God, don't. If you've got cat allergies, don't give your cat a big hug and like push your nose into his fur. And I always do that right when I get home, and then afterwards, like here and here, it gets like super like irritated. You can kind of see it's like red. Stupid. I just want to give him cuddles, man.
That's ultimate cat defense.
He's down here right now, pestering me for food. I should just give him a whole burger, right, guys? Because you know what he says sometimes? He says, I can has burger. Let's see here. This is kind of horribly set up, Scott. What are we doing here? Swamp Lord. Dude, Swamp Lord, I haven't seen you in a while. Downpour was great. I hate that it's hate. Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I've, seen playthroughs. I've read the story. Like, it didn't hit me as, like, a really bad game. Like, I'm unsure why. Like, they didn't even make the dumb mistake of adding Pyramid Head into it just for, like, no reason at all. So, that's why I want to play Downpour. I feel like that's a pretty decent idea. Like, a guy out of jail, like, trying to avenge his murdered son. Like, that seems like it hits pretty hard. There's one that I really, really wish they would have made. Apparently, the first company that they gave Homecoming to was like I want to say it was like a British company or something like that. And they had this idea of like a girl running away from college because like her life got out of control. And like she gets into a car crash because she's like drunk driving. And then like she of course has her crash in Silent Hill, and then like just shit gets real bad real fast. That sounded like awesome. But I guess I think the complaint was that like we just finished making a game about Heather. Why do we? That's true. Like, why aren't there more? I guess Hinako is the next Silent Hill that has a girl main character. I don't know. Get secretly healthy cat snacks for him, dude. Grumpy, if you have any tips on how to make my cat lose weight, please send them over. This chunker, man. Sometimes I worry about him. He looks fluffy and cute, but I just kind of worry about his joints. I don't like overfeed him. I don't know how he's so fat. It might just be because he's old. If you guys didn't know, old people get fat. So that's like your lesson for today. That's why I'm morbidly obese. Because I'm old. Let me switch this up a little bit. I don't know how long I'm going to make it. I'm not working on much sleep. I think I only got like maybe 3 hours last night. And already I can tell like I'm eating these sliders, and I can tell with each one devoured, my body is like kicking my brain saying, now we nap so that food can process. Because yeah, I don't eat all day, and then when I finally get home I have my first meal. Okay. So And I just realized now where it said Pyramid Head smash hearts, hearts, hearts. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Who else we got on? Jumbo was great. Okay. Decoken has burger. That secretly held. Oh, fishing pole toy has helped my cat. You see, like they gave us a bunch of free toys when I bought them. From like the rescue place in Kitty. It's called Kitty Town. And like the first day we had him, we like had all the toys and we tried playing with all of them. He's just kind of like, "What's this? What are you showing me? How about you show me some snacks? Snacks, now." And that's why he's now graduated to Chunkerchan. All right, come on. I know you're waiting for me to drop something. So instead of me dropping food, why don't I pick up cat? Yes. Tell everybody. What's your life story? Here, move the big... There. See? Exactly. Right? Now my nose is going to be all itchy again. Ugh, I can feel the hair all over my face. Tell them your story. About your hard life on the streets. I grew up on the streets of Palmetto. I know, it was brutal and unforgiving. I love you so much, you're so cute. Don't ever get skinny. Stay my big fluffer puff. Deco-chan, more like Deco-chonk. Alright. Yes, that was his Silent Hill review. 3 meows out of 5. That sounds about right. Well, let me get into it. I guess if I get close to like spoiler stuff, I'll give a warning. So it definitely is a itchy. I can feel like every like nerve in my face like itching so much now. Why did I do it? I just love cats. That's all. Oh God, I can feel all the hair stuck to my face. So, first of all, amazing representation of Japan in the 1960s, right? And also, I mean, it really parallels the structure of Higurashi. Now, if you don't know, and like I'm probably gonna do like the worst synopsis ever, but When the Cicadas Cry, Higurashi no Nakakoro ni, is about a boy who moves to the countryside and befriends maybe like 4 girls, right? I don't have everybody's name memorized. Like I'm not that hardcore like some people are. And you start to watch his story unfold at this really countryside school, Inaka no Gakko. And it's amazing because you start watching this anime thinking it's just like a cutesy slice of life everyday type of anime. He's making friends. There's these 4 girls. Some of them are kind of jealous because he's like the hot new guy there at the school, and you know they're being silly. You know, a little bit of sass between everybody. They kind of tease him too, but like in a flirtatious way. And then things go like horribly wrong. People start going crazy and like either killing themselves or killing each other. But then the next episode will have it rewound and something totally different has happened. Like there's one where he starts to get really paranoid, the boy, and believes that he's gonna get poisoned by the girls who have been making his bento every single day. And eventually he finds like a needle in his onigiri, and he ends up like murdering someone. I forget which girl he decides has put the needle in there. But then there's another one where sorry, I shouldn't have taken such a big bite. falls in love with the sister of one of the main girls in the stories, and she gets super jealous, and becomes violent with him. Then there's another one where like he gets invited to the one girl's house, and it turns out like her family has a history of like torturing people in order to gain their power, and that one goes totally crazy. Like they show some like really painful looking gory scenes. Of course, it's like still drawn in like cutesy anime, and that's kind of like all the same stuff that happens in Silent Hill F. So you're seeing his story play out in this countryside town through multiple different storylines, multiple timelines, I should say. And whatever the antagonist or agitator or spark that leads to the doom that happens to these characters each time is a little bit different. One time it turns out that, like, you know, the one girl's got a history of her family being a clan that tortured everyone. Another one is, you know, a love triangle that ends up in jealousy and death. But then even another one ends up with like this mysterious illness that has been plaguing the town where it makes people claw their own throat open to kill themselves. And it keeps saying like, well, what if this happened? Well, what if this happened? And then, I don't know, are you ever really given like a true answer of like what the hell's going on? I don't think you ever are. It's just kind of like how different timelines could play out and how it would affect these characters in different ways. Kind of like a butterfly effect sort of thing going on. And that's kind of the same way with Hinako's story. She is they say about like 13 to 15 years old. I'm guessing she's probably about 15, even though she looks like she's like 21. Her parents have set up an omiai, which is an arranged marriage. And she's not happy about it. They're very traditional. And she is a very independent woman who has always wanted to kind of like lead her own way, make her own path. And this greatly upsets her father, who's an abusive alcoholic jackass, who it's very hard to have any kind of empathy for. And then her mother, who, although she kind of tries to stop the father from lashing out, she's kind of like kind of broken herself already. Like, she won't stand up to him at all. She'll, like, you know, she makes him like miso soup one time, and he's not happy with how it tastes, and like throws the soup across the room and says like, "You're making me eat mud, woman." Like, it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's miso soup, dude. Like, if it's pissing you off that much, go down to 7-Eleven and get like another $1. Probably not even $1. You can probably get that for like 50 cents almost. Make yourself your own miso. And Hinako herself even says something like that, like, "Dad, you need to go make your own food if you're that upset about this." And he's just like, yeah, you know, really atypical 1960s like patriarchy type overbearing misogyny. And like, I'm not out here trying to be like, feminism rules, okay, like third wave feminism. Like, I actually saw people complaining about that. They're like, this is just a game about feminism. And it's like, no, it's not, dude. This, like, there is feminism in Japan, but it's like very moderate and very how would you say, logical? Like, it's women saying like, hey, you know, it would be nice if I wasn't forced to wear high heels to work every day. Or there wasn't job ads that say like, this woman must be slim and trim and very good looking in order to get this job. She cannot be overweight or obese. Like, and there's literally like job ads that say stuff like that. It's just kind of like, yo, really? So like, that's, you know, we're not talking about like absolutely aggressive, insane feminism. It's like all men should be dead and only women should rule the world. It's nothing like that. Our culture and acceptance changed a lot. Also, childhood was different. Yes, Dark Soul. You're totally right. That's one thing. God, having lived in, you know, Japan for so long, you really notice that, like, man, I can't connect as well because we have nothing in common from our childhood. Like, I can't make a joke about the show Alf because no one grew up watching the show Alf. So it really highlights that the abuse of women during the 1960s, how they were not seen as their own person, but more so seen as like an owned object. They were incredibly objectified. That, like, even you find magazines and stuff in the game that exist in game, and it's like a woman is not complete until she is married, and it's just like, ooh, whoa. And also Junko, Hinako's older sister, has just been married off in an omiyai, and they don't really. I wish they would have explained this a little better, but I feel like her connection, Hinako's connection to Junko, has kind of slowly degraded due to her being married off, and now Hinako feels very isolated. Um, and she feels like Junko is not the same person she once knew as her own sister because being in a forced arranged marriage has really changed her. It's kind of like took the steam out of her engines and stuff, kind of like grabbed the wind from her sails. So, God, but then there's so much more. So we follow Hinako, and we watch her as her town is destroyed by a bloom, like like there would be an aggressive algae bloom in the ocean, killing a lot of stuff. Same thing with this game. Kind of like the red light that would chase the main character down in, well, I guess even Silent Hill 3 and the haunted house, like that red light could kill you if it caught up to you. And I believe in Downpour too, there was like some kind of light that would like follow you, and if you're engulfed in that light, like you get immediately killed. They have that. It's just like a bloom of, God, how do you say the flower's name? Higabana, the funeral flower, and it's pretty grotesque. Like once the bloom hits you, like it just starts growing straight through your body. Like you just start to see it pop out of pores and like go straight through her eyes and everything. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa! It's pretty grim. And during this time, she merely just wanted to meet up with her friends. Her main friend, Shu, which I'm guessing is short for Shuichiro. It might be something else. Shutake? I don't think you'd ever say Shutake. And they've been friends for like since very, very early childhood. And they've always had this game called Space Wars going on, where they pretend to be galactic guards who keep planet Earth safe while they fight off aliens. And so you can see this very deep connection between the two of them and how it's gone on for decades. Well, I don't know if you could even say decades. He's only 15 years old. So it's very, very strong. But there's her two friends, Rinko and... I always forget the other girl's name. Sukako? Was it Sukako? God. That's bad. Give me a second. So F... Su... No. What was her name again? It's Sukako, right? Anyway, I'm pretty sure I got that right. I mean, that's the thing though too. Like, you don't really get to know these characters that well. Sukako's immediately killed by the bloom. Rinko and Shu are able to escape, but you get split up by them. But before you even get into like a friendly banter with them, they're already kind of like got some serious jealousy issues going on. Like, it's obvious that Rinko is like madly in love with Shu. Sakuko. I always get it flipped. Sakuko. I don't even know what that name means. Probably has multiple different meanings. I know ko means kid. Saku. I don't know what Saku. I'd have to see the kanji. If you compare 50s and 60s to 19th century, like Tom Sawyer or Oliver Twist, kids were treated as rats. Yes, yes, very, very true, Dark Soul. And that's the way she is kind of treated by her father. Like, I mean, he's like literally swatting at her and like throws, like, he actually throws like a small knife across the room and embeds it in the tatami mat, which is like insane behavior in Japan. You never usually get that off kilter. Anyway, Sakuko immediately gets enveloped by the Higabana, and she's turned to like they never show it up close, but I guess she's turned into like compost almost. Sorry, I'm getting like a bad case of the burps over here. Okay. Meanwhile, Rinko and Shu kind of split up, and they're like, everybody run. And this is where your town starts to get infested by the bloom. Maybe they have another name for it, but I don't remember what it is. And everything gets twisted and weird and dark, and like you have, I guess the one thing I can say is the Silent Hill idea of having your hate or desire or sin or shame be turned into a living monstrosity. I guess they do that well, because her big thing is she doesn't want to be used and abused like she's watching her mother have done to her. So the first enemy she fights are these, like, it looks like a doll who's been like twisted around, like the legs are twisted backwards, parts of the body have been detached and replaced with weapons and stuff like that. And they're also covered in that like grotesque Higabana flower growth. Kittytown sounds like a place your mom would be working at. Nice, Dan. Got him. One day someone's gonna like think you're a complete psychopath and be like, I'll do whatever it takes to get rid of this hater, Scott. And it's like, just relax. It's my boy, Dan. So Dan, did you get to play Silent Hill F yet? I'd love to hear some of your takes on it. So you've got like a twisted female form, which like kind of shows that, females are used and abused during this time, during, the 1960s Japan era. You have this sort of lecherous, I don't know what you would call it, like grabby sort of Chikana-kan type monster who like jumps on top of you and starts licking your face, which is obviously like representative of overly lustful men who like see women as a very objectified thing. Well, what else you've got? Oh, the one monster, probably my favorite, is there's one that is polypropylene dolls, like all their parts like broken up and put together in this monstrosity of doll parts. And the way the beautiful thing about it, I think, like, is it doesn't run after you or sprint or like leap and jump. It does hopscotch to get to you and has like this little girl giggle, or it's like tee hee hee, and then it's like 1, 2, 3. It's super creepy, like taking such an innocent thing like baby dolls and hopscotch and giggling of a child, and all of them become horrific when you, I guess, put them into this kind of form. Sorry. I don't want to chew directly into the camera. That's kind of gross. I mean, microphone. So they really get, I guess, that part of Silent Hill right. They do a good job. They do repeat the same enemy like way too much. I think almost all Silent Hill games kind of do that. Like, even Silent Hill 2 Remake, my God. Like, they might as well just called it like Nurse Fighter 5000, because I feel like you just kill the nurses over and over and over again in that game. Anyway, copyright trademark, should anyone decide they want to make that game, Nurse Fighter 5000. Then you have one abomination, which you have to fight this enemy, I feel like way too much, is a bloated female form that crawls around on 4 legs has two arms, and then like the face is just like twisted and distorted, and the belly has multiple bellies hanging off of it that are all like bloated, pregnant bellies, and they keep popping out these different monsters. It can be an assortment. Sometimes they spit like goo that's like acidic. Um, they're annoying. Such an annoying enemy. Like I definitely always had a sledgehammer ready and killed that thing in like 4 or 5 hits. Oh, thoughts on the new Kojima game? Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Knock. It's called like OD Knock though, right? It's something like it's got like an. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. That's all I can say. Like I can't imagine him being like after what I saw what he could do with Silent Hills. Oh, brother. Agree. It's a shame that classic horror trick went to cheap screamers. Yeah. No, I'm actually a hater. Nice, nice, nice. Um, so they get that part right, okay? The bosses, not so much. Like, the bosses are kind of disappointing. Like, one is Sakuko. Like, the monster's name, it's called Sakako Looking Thing or something like that. And it's her, and she always wanted to be a shrine maiden. But instead of being a normal looking shrine maiden, her face is distended, and there's like bug legs coming off of her mouth as it hangs wide open agape. And she's, man, that was an annoying fight. What is she carrying? Like a mace type weapon? I don't know, man. And then the other main boss you fight is like a version of Rinko, but with like her face torn like wide open. There's just like a hole and like all the skin hanging from the hole, which is very grotesque, but it's kind of like, okay, like, all right. What were some of the other ones? The final boss was like a bore and a half. The final boss was like so boring, I killed it with like 0 deaths. Like I never died, and I got some kind of special achievement where it's like fighting the last boss. Now I'm getting into spoiler stuff if I'm starting to talk about bosses and stuff. So if you still haven't played the game and don't want anything spoiled. But anyway, that's about it though. Like the one thing I really didn't understand is like, okay, the flower growth thing with like everything getting taken over by flowers, cool. But then why do the mist too on top of it? Like the combination seemed kind of silly. Like, wait, what? So like the mist, does the mist come with like the flowers, or was like the mist created by all the flowers growing everywhere? Like what? And there's just like the setting you're in, it just doesn't really make much sense. Like why do we have mist now? I did really like, and I hope future Silent Hill games do this, that you could actually like kind of like level up. Like, you're not exactly leveling up, but you collect a bunch of stuff, you hand it in, and then you can get a votive called an Emma, and you can like pray for one of your skills to go up. Well, okay, actually, man, I am almost about to fall asleep, guys. You can't tell maybe, but maybe you can tell actually. So I'm gonna stand up. Look at my belly showing now. I know, right? Okay, hold on. Let me get this. I'm just trying to stay lucid enough to do a decent analysis. But am I okay on the mic there? I'm just checking my mic. So yeah, it seems like I'm okay. So yeah, like some things just like didn't make, like, why did you do this? You never get guns, of course, which I always thought that was kind of a silly complaint. They're like, you usually get guns in these games. What? It's 1960s Japan. Okay, like guns weren't everywhere like it is in America. All right, like you can own guns in Japan, but it's like a very lengthy process, and yeah, people aren't just like, oh, I'm gonna put my shotgun down and go pick the rice fields. It's not like that.
So I'm glad they stayed away from that. The pipe's okay. Some of the weapons are just like, what? Why? Like the sickle just seemed like garbage. There's no point. I was a big fan of the crowbar, and man, I love the sledgehammer, the axe, man. I guess I would say the really good thing they do, the animation of Hinako, the main character, hitting stuff, like they really animated the aggression really well. She's going through a lot of shit, like she's pissed off about a lot of different things, and you can really feel the character like get her aggression out as she's hitting stuff over the head. I think they do really well. Oh, hey Lizzie, thanks for joining.
Why don't you get the Gatorade down there? You don't want to drink any Gatorade? Oh, why don't you just get the filtered water out of the refrigerator?
But it tastes bad.
Out of the refrigerator?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. I got a high class prince over here who's too good for refrigerator filtered water.
Well, try to drink something, dude. Don't let yourself get dehydrated, all right? Tell me what you need for tomorrow. Like, write it down on the grocery list so I don't forget it.
Sorry. Just doing my dadding. Dadding as best I can.
So, I don't know. Anything else that was like Silent Hill that, like, really matched it up?
Oh, okay, here's my biggest complaint. I love the game, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy for what it cost, how much I enjoyed it. The story's pretty decent. But, so, you got the other world, the netherworld or whatever, the, evil decaying world that shows up. In this one, you get transported to the inside of like a shrine or temple, and those parts are the most annoying ever. I was not a fan. Yeah, don't forget to hydrate. It's very important, yeah. Like some of the puzzles are just like, you know what to do, but it's just like a chore. Like you're like, oh, I already have this figured out, but damn, I hate having to run all the way around all these stupid monsters. And like the worst part is until you get to a certain point, where she gets like kind of a superpower, the enemies keep coming back to life in the netherworld. So no matter, you kill them, knock them down, probably like 1 minute later they're back up, moving around. So you're just like, dude, what, like it's just aggravating. Like you're just like, dude, just stay down so I can get this puzzle done. I know what to do. You just keep coming back to life and screwing with me. You do, and I guess this is a big spoiler territory right here that I'm about to get into. You do eventually, in the netherworld type shrine, temple type area, start to go through this process of being transformed into, how do I explain? So, the first time she's transferred over to the temple area, it's kind of typical Silent Hill style, where they pass out and suddenly they awaken a new area. That's almost every Silent Hill game where they're like, shoot, how do we transfer them? Oh, I know, they could pass out. So you meet this guy, I forget his name. I don't remember. That's kind of like one of the problems with the games is they don't really make the characters overly memorable, and there's not that many of them. Fox guy, we'll call him Fox guy because he's wearing a fox mask, and he's actually a representative of a young boy she once met in the park, who was attacked by a fox, and Hinako defended him, like got him out of the way and like scared off the fox, or calmed the fox down really. And that boy like kind of fell in love with her at that point when they were like, who knows, like what, 5 or 6 years old. And he is also the heir of like great wealth and stuff, and would be like perfect for Omiya, arranged marriage. And he's asking for her hand in marriage in real life. But at the same time, Shu, who's been madly in love with Hinako from day one, has actually spent the time and built up the rapport and stuff like that. So when she goes to the shrine/temple type world, Fox guy is represented by literally like a guy wearing a fox mask, and he's like, you need to do this for me, Hinako, to fully finish up this ritual, and you're just like, do what? And I guess it's like they're trying to say like she needs to become the perfect woman for him and like sacrifice herself to do so. So at one point, they give her a knife to chop off her arm and put on a wolf arm, which is just like completely shown in ferocious, gory detail. I was kind of shocked. And then even later, they brand her back and like push a big branding iron on the back there of his family crest, which you know how family crests look in Japan. They're cool looking, but you wouldn't want one the size of a dinner plate branded into your back. And the final part, which I was like, yo, what? Like, she cuts off the top half of her face and gets a fox mask put on there. And now she's fully become fox version Hinako. Now, the power you get from that is like awesome. You get this giant fox arm that it can kill the enemies much faster. It never degrades, because that's one of the biggest problems in the game is all the weapons you get degrade, which I hate. And not only can she kill the monsters and then suck their soul into her body for getting special power, like a build-up power, but if she builds up that power high enough, she can do like Super Saiyan mode and unleash that power to turn her fox, into a giant fox arm, which is, I don't know, kind of comedic in a sense. And it just tears into anything. Like, it's actually like a really powerful, useful weapon. So, you know, you get to that point, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. What the hell does this have to do with any other Silent Hill ever? Like, there's no point in any other Silent Hill game where your character gets like mutilated and like heavily transformed into a completely different version. I guess there is an ending in Downpour. Is it Downpour or is it Homecoming, where they put the pyramid head on him and like make him become a pyramid head, but he doesn't like go through like mutilation and rituals to do that. That's one of the bad endings. So it was awesome. Like, just the display, the way it's portrayed, the ritual behind it. It's cool, but it really, really removes the game from being any kind of Silent Hill type thing. Like, that really felt almost more like Biohazard, right? Like Resident Evil. Because, like, you know, people mutate in those games. And she doesn't, like, mutate, but she more or less mutilates her own body to become this monstrous form. Let me just check up on chat real quick. The mist was... Oh, that's true. That's a good point. All right, Dark Soul, that's a good point. The mist was related to volcanic activity. It wasn't volcanic. You're close. But I remember there was geysers was the problem. Their geysers were spewing... not geysers. Hot spring. Were starting to spew toxic steam and stuff like that. So the town was known for that. And now it's gotten super bad because Silent Hill's pulled up into town, and now all the geysers be bursting. I think that's how it's written in the game. It says, yo, all these geysers be bursting. What we gonna do, Hinako? I remember that line specifically. Shu says that after turning his hat backwards and walking with swagger. So, yeah, now you've gotten yourself transformed. Hinako's had herself transformed, willingly, mind you, to become this monstrous version of herself, which it's awesome. It's a good, you know, statement of, like, the women had to, like, mutilate and destroy who they used to be the perfect wife for these, you know, misogynist males of the time. So I get it. I understand the metaphor. It's a little heavy-handed, but I get it. All right, cool. But I felt like that was the point where I was like, yo, this is sick. This is awesome. This is totally not Silent Hill. And then you go and, you know, do some other stuff. Like, you seem to kill off Sakuko and Rinko multiple times. Like, first you kill Sakuko's monster form. Then you go and do a puzzle where you kill Sukako and Rinko by one dropping the one. Well, I guess you don't actually kill the one. You put her in like dark, like you just turn off all the lights, and she's like, "Ah, the dark. I hate it." And then you actually drop Linko into like a pool of lava, and that's kind of satisfying because Linko is like a mega bitch. I really the actress did really well who played her. Like I super hated her by the end. And just so you guys know, like, if you disagree with me on any of this, number one, unsubscribe and find another channel. No, I'm just joking. If you disagree or feel like I'm totally wrong, it's cool. Like, call me out right away. Tell me like what your thoughts are. Like, I'm actually very happy to disagree with what you think the meaning and stuff is, because I'd like to get a reading from other perspectives and stuff. I'm just telling you from a guy who's observed, 17 years of Japan. So now your monster Hinako only in the netherworld, only in like the temple, but it's still like I hated that part of the game. Like every time I'd get warped into there, I'd be like, this place again. And I think one of the most annoying aspects of the game, and I'm stealing this from Super Eye Patch Wolf, isn't his name Eye Patch Wolf? I mostly watch regular Eye Patch Wolf. I don't usually watch his super stuff as much. He said, and I'm not perfectly quoting this, but it feels like there's never enough time to just explore the horror. And he mentioned 2 times, he's like, there's 2 times where the game kind of slows down for a bit, where you get to like just mess around with areas and like, be intimidated by this disturbing setting and stuff. But mostly you just feel like you're in an action fighting game, like nonstop. And I have to agree with him 100% on that. Like, there's so many times in the other Silent Hill games, and even Homecoming does this, where there's no enemies in sight for quite some time. And you're literally just like crawling around these dank, degraded, dilapidated, squalid areas that are like super grim and like just give you kind of the chills of like how low the human spirit can get. In Silent Hill F, it's just like, oh no, monster, find another monster. Oh, here comes a big fat monster. Oh, this monster is a drum monster. Uh-oh, this one's the doll monster again. Oh no, here's another. And it's just like, can I just chill for a second and like observe and enjoy this amazing? Because like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Like they did so amazing. But, and this is also regular Eye Patch Wolf said, only he felt like when you're at the school, do you get enough time to kind of look around? And there was like one other part he said. I feel like only the school. The school is the only time where you kind of just like mess around with puzzles and stuff, like figuring out people's lockers combinations and like who was in love with who and why. And then the rest of the game is just like a non-stop must hit monster with metal pipe slog. Like it just, you're like, can we just get like a breather for a second and I can just chill out and enjoy the surroundings. So that was kind of another part where I feel like the other Silent Hill games did way better, where you're just like, I can just relax and chill in this like really dark, dank, creepy sort of area. Now here's one thing, and I haven't heard anybody complain about this. Akira Yamaoka, okay, did the soundtrack again. The original guy. There's nothing about the soundtrack that blows my mind, that I'm like, damn, that's a scary song. Like how many Silent Hill songs, even in Homecoming, there's like decent music where it's like, damn, that is like a depressing, like sort of morose little, tune there. There's like nothing, there's no earbug whatsoever in anything you listen to in Silent Hill F. Like, that's one of my biggest complaints is like, I mean, unless the music was turned so low, I couldn't hear most of it, and I didn't mess with the sound settings at all. There was nothing there that made me think, oh, he's back. Akira Yamaoka, that's you, buddy, I know it. Got the little mandolin playing in there, shamisen playing in the background. Damn, this is creepy and dark. It was just kind of like, all I can remember is like static type sounds, which there's not the radio like there is in the old games. So that was like part of like this sort of, I don't know, like goofy music. I don't know, man. Ah, Ricardo, dude, I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Um, yeah, Ricardo, I agree. Yeah, I played because I've gone through and done New Game Plus too, and my my main thing I wanted to do is I played it through in English first. And now I'm playing it through in Japanese, and yeah, she's whoever did Rinko, like that actress is like incredible. Like her range of emotion and like the way she says, you're just like, damn, I hate this girl. She's an amazing actress. Like if you, that's what you're supposed to do. Like she's one of the main antagonists, and like if they really make you hate them, and like you're like, dude, die already. Like, you know, she's a Joffrey type character. But Ricardo, let me ask your opinion on that. Did you hear any music in there that you thought like, oh, that's Akira Yamaoka, man, hitting it up again with those dark tunes? Like there was nothing in there. Like I remember hearing that before I played the game that he was coming back to do the soundtrack again. And then later when I finished it, I was like, wait, did I remember that right? Because I don't think he did do the soundtrack on this. So I went back and checked, and yeah, it says him and like one other guy. And it's just like, what did he do? Like walk into the studio, hit one piano key, bang. Yo, done. That's a wrap. Akira out. Is that all he did? Because there was nothing in there like that. I was like, whoa, man, it's really like had death in the family. Oh, dude, non-winner. I'm so sorry, dude. Ah, man, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks, man. I hope you're hanging in there, man. I hope you're feeling better. I know some family members, it can be really hard to get over. Like, just really be at peace with that, man. Dang, dude. Well, if you need to talk or anything, dude, send me a message. Send me like something on mail or something like that, dude. If you need to like, just vent or whatever, dude. I'm sorry, man. That sucks, dude. Now I gotta go back into a Silent Hill F rant, man. Kind of a dark topic. All right. No, but that was kind of the point. He leaned more to traditional Japanese instruments, which is like, that's fine. Like that makes sense that he would do that. But like, does he suck like as a Japanese musician? Like he's great as like a more Western style musician. Because I was just like, I went back and tried to listen to more of it. And I was just like, this just seems like you're in iGarage and you click Oriental music number 112, and you're like, yeah, I guess that'll be okay for me showing these random pictures of Japan. Like, there's nothing about it that made me think like, damn, now that is a real Akira tune. Like, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. Maybe someone needs to like point me in the direction of like, yo, but do you remember this banger? And I'm like, oh damn, he did actually go off. Like that is pretty good. I'm okay. Mom took it way harder. I'm good. Just man, that's so hard to watch another parent, like your own parent, like in mourning. I remember that happened when my mom's mom died. I felt awful for her for so long. I was still young. Anyway, I love the music from Moth Fight and Silent Hill 1. I actually don't know the names of any of the songs, but Silent Hill 1 has a bunch of amazing music. Silent Hill 2 has incredible music. And even Silent Hill 3, like, I mean, that OST is like one of my all-time favorite, dude. I go to sleep listening to that thing. Well, okay, Ricardo, I want to ask your opinion, dude. Do you feel it's like a Silent Hill game? Like, do you feel like there's enough connectors in it that it feels like a Silent Hill game? Because I feel like you could have just called this, like, Hinako and the Fox, and it could have been its own standalone game that had nothing to do with Silent Hill. Right? Like, it was a good game. It was a good story. It was engaging characters. The combat was kind of shit, but still kind of fun at the same time. Like, sometimes it's fun to learn how to be good at combat that's crap combat. So like I enjoyed playing it. I don't regret my time. I don't regret spending my money on it. I'm glad I can add that to the roster of Silent Hill games that I beat. But I just didn't. By the end, I was like, this really isn't much of a Silent Hill game. And I know some people are pissed off about that. Like,
No, you can't say that. She has a pipe and hits things with it. Silent Hill.
I don't know. It's kind of the same way like the Silent Hill movies were, where I was like, I guess this has Silent Hill imagery in it, but it doesn't feel like it's part of Silent Hill. Intro gave me chills. What, like some of the intro music to the original Silent Hill and stuff like that? But so what starts to happen, like as you get farther and farther into the game, it's it's kind of elusive as far as finding a concrete answer. But it seems as though Hinako has been offered up as an omiyai, a pre-made marriage where she's being forced to marry somebody, and it appears to be the Fox guy, who she met a long time ago. Her father's super happy about it because he's a deadbeat, deep in debt, alcoholic, abusive father who's just like, yeah, I'm gonna marry her off to this rich guy who's gonna be real rich soon, so I can get that money. And it's just like, okay, that's messed up. Second of all, she's not in love with the Fox guy at all. She can barely remember him. He's obsessed with her because she's kind of been like a hero to him. And then, she starts, going through this battle in her mind that you're seeing play out while she goes through the temple scenes of her tearing apart her body to become this Fox person and be perfectly married and become the obedient wife. Well, it starts to diverge where you see the old Hinako who hasn't guaranteed she's going to marry this guy, and you see the future of what the Hinako who does marry this guy becomes. And the one that marries becomes this hideous beast called the Fog Monster, I think is the name they give her. Both of her arms have become like fox arms that are like massive and looming. Her face has been completely ripped off, which obviously, a woman loses her face because she loses her identity. She loses who she is because she's merely an extension of her husband in these like old school 1960s arranged marriages. I get it. I understand. She's wearing the marriage kimono in the Tamago no Boshi like egg hat, and this is her ultimate I've changed myself to become better for another person but not for myself type monster. And this is also the final boss you fight, because your old self that didn't get forced into marriage is who Hinako wants to stay as. And so your final showdown is regular Hinako, who's her own person and individual and, full steam ahead. My choices come first, must fight. I've given in to everything my father wanted and horribly destroyed who I used to be simply to marry into this arranged marriage. And that's the final boss, is the Fog Monster version of Hinako fighting herself. So it's obviously, there is a metaphor of like, fighting your own personal demons, your own worries and fears and scenarios of what you think could go wrong. But then, and this is a big spoiler, this is one of the endings, and there's many different endings, okay? Then after you kill your, you kill your arranged marriage version of yourself, the Fog Monster, it cuts to a police report, and it's like, this girl's at a wedding killing everybody there. She stabbed multiple people and is high on Jigglypuff pills. I don't know what the pill is she's taking. Like, it's some kind of herbal thing. And it's like, we gotta go there and stop her from killing everybody at her arranged marriage. And then the game ends. And like, you're like, oh, what? So it was kind of goofy to me because, first of all, the person giving her these pills that she's taking, it's one of like your health resources that can bring your HP back. It's Shu. Shu's parents used to be part of like herbal remedies and stuff like that, homeopathic and holistic healing and stuff like that, which it still goes on today in Japan. There's people who like swear like, oh, you broke your arm, go eat some ginger, it's gonna grow back stronger. So that's kind of more of an old school way of thought, and she's had a bad problem with headaches, and I guess he gave her some sort of like pill that is like herbal, it's holistic, it's not actually made of like, but apparently these things were getting her so absolutely blasted out of her mind high that she doesn't even realize she's killing everybody at her own arranged marriage, which is just like, what, where the hell did Shu find this stuff? Like, what? In a country like Japan, where like every single drug is considered like level 5,000 bad narcotic weed, it will kill you immediately. Stop injecting it into your arm. Same thing as heroin, just as bad as weed. Same drug, same place. Everybody dies the same. All drug bad. It's kind of like the image Japan has of like all drugs. Like everything's super illegal there. Like if you even have a tiny bit of like trace of weed on something, you could go to jail for a very long time, like 3 to 5 years for that. But they think the same thing about heroin too. Like they put them all on the same level. So while I get what Ryukishi07 is imagining, his obvious lack of concept of what, narcotics are really like, because he's lived in Japan his whole life, is kind of wacky. Like, it's kind of wackadoodle idea of, like, maybe he found the bad drugs that give her the bad stuff, like a heroin and, I guess weed. Like, I don't know. You're just like, what? So she's been taking a pill that, like, makes her go this crazy. But then as you play, and I don't want to ruin these further endings and stuff, as you get through the different New Game Plus and stuff, it starts to do the same timeline thing that his old series, Higurashi no Nakakoro ni When the Cicadas Cry, does. Where it's like, okay, see how bad this could have gone? Well, maybe it could go a little bit better. She marries the guy and doesn't fight her father on doing this. And then it's like, but wait, it could go even better. She doesn't marry the guy, and that guy talks to Shu, and now it's okay. They do want to get married, and he's totally okay with it. Obviously, you've loved Shu your whole life. Go marry him. And then it gets, like slowly better and better and better as you go through the new Game Plus. No, I'm not going to go through and do all those. The game's a little bit too frustrating to do that. But I get it. But some of the concepts are kind of whack. Like, you're just kind of like, okay, there's nothing Shu is finding in the woods that he could feed her that she'd be blasted out of her mind, to the point that she's just like, first of all, like, Hinako is like a 15-year-old, probably like 80-pound girl. How is she murdering like all these people at the wedding? Like, the scene itself just seems like wacky. Like, she's like carrying the Guts Berserk sword around and smashing people with that. Like, it doesn't really make any sense. Also, like, Ryukishi's concept of how drugs work is really goofy. Now, I do realize he was a social worker who did deal with a lot of families and kids having problems with, like, domestic abuse and violence at home and, parents with a drinking problem or neglected children. So he does, and when he does write those parts, you can really see his heart and soul go into it. But I mean, in other aspects, you're just like, oh, okay, but that's not actually how any drug on earth works. You wouldn't. I felt like that whole ending kind of snuck up on me at the end, where it's just like, why are you taking these pills? Like, her older sister like tries to knock the pills out of her hand, and you're like, what? I mean, they've been offered to her since day one. Like, no one said there was like any insane side effect. You can't read anything in the journal type diary thing she carries around that says like, these pills have been offered to you by Shu, but really they're wackadoodle pills and you're gonna go insane in the membrane. Okay, like, there's no part. So when that finally becomes a conclusion that, oh, you've been taking crazy pills this whole time, you didn't know that? Well, Shu did, and the reason he's done it is to sabotage your arranged marriage, and he can have you for the rest of his life. Oh, whoops, you killed everyone because you were taking those? So sad, too bad. I guess you went a little bit too far with the wacky pills. Which is just kind of like, what? Okay, I guess. Now I did hear like a fan theory type thing where it's what's the drug from the old Silent Hills? White something or other. Hold on. Let me see what they call it. Silent Hill. White Claudia, I think is the name. Drug PTV. What is it called? White Claudia. I got it right. So apparently, some people are saying, no, you got to understand. That pill she's been taking is White Claudia, which is how all the games connect. You didn't know that, loser? Okay, maybe. But that's still kind of weird. Like, what? Like, why did nobody talk about this being White Claudia? Like, there's no connection in any of the diary. And I read everything. I read every little excerpt of everything to, like, you know, maybe, but could you have let us know that earlier? Because White Claudia is a drug in the games. It's a fictional drug. Doesn't exist, obviously. It makes people go absolutely batshit insane until they've taken so much that they start to bleed out of every orifice above and below their neck. You know, it's a gruesome way to go, but I don't know. Anyway, I want to sit down now, chill out, and I'd like to see your feedback. Let me grab a snack real quick. I'm still starving. I want to hear a bunch from you, Ricardo. There were kudzu pills that keep you from getting drunk. There's kudzu water or kudzu tea, I think, in the game too. I didn't know kudzu could do that. Really, kudzu. Okay, and Swamp Lord, I want to hear your ideas and stuff too. I want to hear everybody, like, how they felt. Dude, I wish Eric was here too. I wanted to hear his tattoo games. I wish he's beaten the game too. So give me just a second. Ugh, tired already. Blah. When I get you soda tomorrow, what do you want for soda?
The weak one.
Oh, Crush, really? Okay. Let me write that down while I'm out here. Anything else? Hey, computer, turn on kitchen. Anything else?
No.
to disappoint. Alright. 1 second, guys. Almost back. Alright.
What? Why are you yelling at me? You still got snacks in there.
Okay, how about catnip? Come here. We haven't had that in a while. Where'd all this come from? This- That came from. Okay, just a second. Yeah, big fatso. Come on. Here you go. I know you haven't had this in a while. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, here. Here. That's yours. Here. Look. Sniff it. Come here. I'm not gonna like walk you over there. I love you so much, bud. Yeah, I just made it. Look. Come here. Hey, hey, here. Here. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Hey, computer, turn off kitchen. What? Oh, your soccer ball hit the ceiling?
Why?
There's a big mark across the ceiling.
I definitely not hit the soccer ball that right there.
Yeah.
No, I definitely not hit that.
Here?
I definitely not did not hit that. I never played soccer here.
What is that then?
I play on that side. I don't play on that side because I got my computer here.
Alright, I don't know what that big mark is. Hey, computer, turn on living room. I'm just making sure it's not like wet or something. It's gonna drive me nuts. I need to paint that. Okay. Hey, computer, turn off living room. Alright. Sorry for the long wait, guys. Okay. Wanted to give you some time to think about that. What? How about you fix the camera too, Scott? Okay. I wanted to give you some time to think about that. What did I get on my face over there? What was that? Okay. So, what do we got for feedback, guys? What are you guys thinking? Okay. Okay. Let me go back up to the top. What? I gave you. Look, I gave you the catnip. Look. You're yelling at me, but you're not opening your eyes, you big silly boy. All right. Anyway. Nuno, welcome back, bud. We haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you here, man. All right. What's... Hey, Ann, it's totally me, Nuno. I like the intro. That's kind of funny. All right. Agliophotis. I feel like I've missed a part of a conversation here. All right, let's get back up here. No, okay. I remember Swamp Lord saying, yeah, that's a very loose connection. Yeah, I agree with you on the White Claudia thing being, So, I don't know. How do you guys feel? Like, if you feel like it is a Silent Hill game, like, you're like, no, this makes sense that it's part of the series. And, like, I was willing, I was one of the people at the beginning to be like, listen, when you read the short message, or you play the short message, the Silent Hill game that was kind of in between these two games, the remake and Silent Hill F, there is a theory written in one of the school books that the main character is looking at that talks about Silent Hill syndrome. Now, Silent Hill syndrome takes into the fact that someone can create their own Silent Hill situation by sort of like mass hysteria. What do they call that one? Hysteria enfant du. I probably totally butchered that. But when one person like starts to go crazy, it makes another person go crazy, and that because of that, one person experiencing like a sort of dark situation can eventually end up enveloping the whole town in that dark situation due to Silent Hill syndrome. And I was like, look, so that's how this can be possible. Everybody says no, it should only happen in this part of America where like it looks like Maryland or Pennsylvania, and it's like, no, why couldn't they have it overseas? Well, Silent Hill's not an actual town there. But I mean, if you think about also, and I realized this too, playing Silent Hill Homecoming recently, there is Ashford, and I believe, isn't Ashford Silent Hill 4 The Room? Let me just check to make sure there. Silent Hill. What? I'm sorry. What? Are you okay? What do you mean, Maki? Oh no, you're talking to your friends. Silent Hill 4, where at? Where? Ashfield. Yeah. So South Ashfield is where Silent Hill 4 The Room takes place. Shepherd's Glen is where Homecoming takes place. So those aren't Silent Hill, and they still have Silent Hill effects. We could see how it could spread. Now, you could say, like, the origin point is Silent Hill. That's fine. I can go with that. So I was willing to, bend a little bit of the logic and say, like, that's how it's happening out in Japan. The Silent Hill syndrome. But, no. Okay, let me catch up with what people are saying. I see all this PS5 going on now. I might start to look into PS4s because I never got one. Might not though, and maybe try for a PS2. Okay, I think like you've got a bunch of stuff you can play on PS4. There's like a ton. I still have my PS3 back in Japan. I keep wanting to bring it back here to America, but God, that's heavy as hell to bring. I hear prescription medicine in Japan isn't all that effective. Okay, actually, I wouldn't say that. What I would say is that if you don't know what you're looking for in Japan, yeah, you can end up with some like absolutely like useless medicine. There are medicines you can buy in the store that are just like, this is grass in a pill form. It's gonna help everything. You're gonna be okay. You can literally buy like codeine over the counter in Japan. The cough medicine Braun, Pablon Gold. God, there's one other one. I always forget the name of this one. It's like orange and white and blue, and I can't remember the name of it. If is anybody watching from Japan right now, tell me the medicine name. Those have codeine in it. So I mean, you can get like hammer pills. Like those can really, be pretty aggressive to the point that like. Recently, kids are abusing those over-the-counter medications a lot in Japan. So, but I have heard also from people that Japanese medicine is very, very weak. One of the main reasons you'd see something like that is, number one, they make all the dosage pretty average across the board for the Japanese man. And the average man's like a lot shorter and a lot lighter than the average Western man. And so the medication often they'll take like whatever the dosage recommended is, and they feel nothing because it's like made for someone half their size. So that's one reason you hear a lot of that from Gaijin who are like, man, nothing works. It's like, you might want to be your own doctor at that point and choose how much you should take. All right, let me see. Why isn't this? Oh, I see why. I see what the problem is. Okay. PS5, okay. He gone? Grumpy say he gone? Yeah, I's gone. I know more. What happened? There, I couldn't find my mouse pointer for a second. Okay. It's always interesting how Japan views drugs in general. If you're an actor or music artist, you get canceled hard. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's kind of nuts how hardcore they cancel people for, like, just, like, really minor use of a drug. Like, there was, I forget the guy's name. He was, like, super famous, and they found a straw in his house that had, like, a grain of, like, the equivalent to, like, meth type stuff on it. And he lost everything because of that. So he must have done it, like, one time, maybe crazy at a party or something like that. Just forgot and left the straw in there. I don't know who ratted on him, but it's not like he was doing it all the time. He wasn't going on interviews methed out. But that one little, I believe it was a famous baseball player this happened to. All right. Folie à deux. There we go. Shared state of psychosis between two people. Not a big fan of the PS5. I have to agree with Alejandra. I own a PS5. I am not very impressed with what's offered on it. Like, I literally have a PS5 to play Demon's Souls and Bloodborne. That's it. Now, I've gone on the PS5 store, and bought, like, a couple cool, like, older type things. But there's some stuff on there that pisses me off. Like, I have to join the PS Network in order to play the good version of Siren. That kind of sucks. Or, like, anyway, sorry. Let me get back on topic. AWP, time to go to Japan. Is it Aliens vs. Predator? Is that what we're talking about? Anyway, I don't know, guys. That's my feelings on it. And honestly, I think I'm going to end the stream a little bit early. I am super tired. Like, I'm kind of shocked how tired I am. I didn't really feel that tired today. Like, this wasn't an overly hard week compared to my normal weeks. But, man, like, I feel like sleep pulling me down like this. Like, it feels like someone's, like, pulling my eyelids closed. I did wake up crazy early, like 5 something in the morning today, so it's probably why it's hitting me now. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, dude, don't knock it. There's some people who do all kinds of crazy stuff, like whittle the pills down to, like, just the codeine and all kinds of bad. There's a bunch of bad stuff going on recently with over-the-counter pills and stuff. Pierre Taki was found with something, and Disney made a big deal about redubbing. Oh, that's what it was. That was the thing. Anyway, I don't know, Ricardo. What's your final thought? You're the only other person I think on here who's beaten the game, aside from Tattoo Games is usually here, but not tonight. It's okay. It's okay. What do you think? Would you say? Definitely feels like it's part of the Silent Hill universe, and why? Definitely not part of the Silent Hill universe, and why? Either one's okay. Just know that you'll be my sworn enemy should you disagree with my points. No, I'm just joking. Let's see. Let's do this. While you're thinking that up. What? What's this? Just got a notification. Microsoft would love your perspective. Windows PCs to others. What? No. Okay. They stopped making any Xbox game consoles. Wait, is Xbox done making game consoles altogether? Is that true? Dude, I heard recently Billabong is going bankrupt. Dude, I'm getting so off topic. Give me a second here. Let's see. Why Silent Hill F is not a Silent Hill game. It strays from the series' core elements, such as its setting in 1960s Japan. Well, see, that kind of sounds like someone hasn't learned more about the... Because Silent Hill, the whole idea, if you follow the comic books, started all the way back in, like, the Wild West, like, early 1920s or something like that. Or what would it be? No, it'd be farther back than that. Like 1800 something. All right. Critics point to its departure from the original atmosphere, the distinct visual style, and the move away from subtle psychological storytelling in favor of a more direct, narrative-driven, and action-oriented approach. All right, key reasons for criticism. Shift in setting. The game is set in 1960s Japan, departure from the original US-based town of the cult history. While the move to a Japanese setting was intended to lean into Japanese horror, it removed the connection to the original game's lore. That's not really a good argument. Change in atmosphere. Some fans feel the game lacks the signature Silent Hill vibe. I would say somewhat, yeah. Of psychological horror. Subtle storytelling, unease. Yeah, see, like, that's the thing. Like, part of the game of Silent Hill that makes you feel like you're in Silent Hill is the unease. Like, you're wandering through places, not sure if you're going to have a puzzle or, like, a mystery or a creature show up next. So you're just going to like, ooh, what's that? Oh, my goodness. Instead, it introduces a more direct and action horror style. Yeah, that was the problem. It just felt like I couldn't get a breather for even a second. Like I constantly had to be like whacking something or be ready to start whacking something. Different horror style. Silent Hill F is perceived by some as focused more on direct scares and combat rather than the series' traditional reliance on psychological torment. Yeah, that's kind of the same reason though. It's not really like a different lack of connection to the original theme. The game's narrative is independent of the previous Silent Hill games and is based on a standalone story. Yeah, and apparently, like, this is the last Silent Hill. There's not going to be, like, Silent Hill F Part 2. Or maybe they would call it Silent Hill G. I don't know. Anyway. What do we got? Maria's actor from the remake denied any DLC happening. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, I heard that too. Insomniac Gamer, have you played Silent Hill F? Ugh. I gotta... Guys, I'm gonna call it, dude. I'm so tired, dude. I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. I love hanging out with you guys. But... Silent Hill F sharp? No, F minor. Anyway... I love you guys. I'm just gonna have to hit the hay, dude. I can't believe how tired I am. Like, I'm literally like, every time, like that. I'm feeling like that all the time. So, kind of shocked I'm pulling it this early, but I haven't played it as of yet, my friend. Well, when you do play it, we'll meet back up here, and we'll get everybody's feedback on what they thought of Silent Hill F. But for now, I'm gonna do Silent Hill Sleep right now, dude. I'm tired as heck. But I love you guys, and I thank you just for being here and listening to me rant like a madman. It's just fun. It's just fun. You guys make my nights really fun. Oh, and thank you for the link. Yeah, guys, come join. Probably what's going to happen is I'm going to pass out for like an hour, and then I'm going to wake up. It's like, what time right now? 7:50. God, that's early. I'm going to wake up at like 9 p.m. and be like, oh, what happened? And then I'll realize, oh, I just had to take like a quick nap, and then I'm back to my regular sleep schedule. But until then, jump on Discord. Let's all have a chat there. I got a funny story in there about my recent Japanese lesson, so read up on there. Probably, God, I get a bad case of the burps. Probably tomorrow I'll pop on for a... update Saturday video. Members, dude, I'm so sorry, members, dude. I've been so neglectful of you guys, and I love you guys too. I'm gonna get on here and put out quite a few members videos. What I what I really wish is I need to make like a question section for members. Like they're okay if they ask me like more personal stuff, but I'd still want to make a video that they'd want to actually watch. So, let's see. I think that about covers it. I think I'm gonna do one more live stream though because I do have Monday off. Yes, 3-day weekend.